Greetings, everyone. 2K Sports brings you the NBA. And David he's the glue that holds the team together, DA. Always important to have a guy who can fire up his teammates. And with all the different technological advances in the league, you see a lot of player and coaches now reviewing clips and tablets and a lot of film sessions. I know you used to study a lot of the league's videotapes. How much easier is film study now, say, from the time in the late 90s when you got in the NBA?
It's so much easier.
Really?
Oh, my God. When I used to get in the hotel rooms, you used to have to call the front desk. They used to roll up the TV on the wheels.
With the VCR machine.
With the VCR connected to it, right? And I have to have all of these tapes. And you got to put the tape in, and you got to rewind it, and you got to fast forward it, and you got to rewind it.
Yeah.
Now it's just everything's right there in front of you, right? And it's very easy to skip and go to the next game and then jump back to the game before or fast forward to the fourth quarter. I mean, it's so easy now.
Now Golden State's starting five. It's the Splash Brothers, Curry and Clay in the backcourt. Kyle O'Quinn out there with Draymond Green, and it's Wiggins in at small forward. Schroeder dishes to Davis. Lakers passing it around. 4 on the clock. Here's Caldwell Pope. Releases from the wing and drills it. Caldwell Pope's got 5 points so far.
And you have to do a ton to distract Caldwell Pope. Just razor-sharp concentration when he's going up with the shot.
Hey, Kobe, you know, when you take a look at great NBA rivalries, your mind goes more to the past than the present. I'm not sure why that is, but maybe you can enlighten us why rivalries seem to matter more or more in our minds from yesteryear as opposed to today.
Because we can recall where we were when. Right?
Yeah,
the recollection is always more powerful in retrospect, right? I mean, that's always, you remember where you were when, Magic hit that running hook shot.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Some people can remember where they were when Nelson hit that shot that bounced off the back of the rim and almost touched the rafters and fell back in, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I think it's those memories that create a lasting impact. And even though in today's game, you can look at it and say, there's no real rivalries in today's game. There are. But they're only sink in over time.
So you think the Cleveland-Golden State rivalry, because the greats are on opposite sides there, will linger and will resonate like that?
Absolutely.
Green, the screen. Now, here's O'Quinn. Last game we saw him score 13. Unloads from 13. And too long on the shot.
Not easy to miss a clean-looking shot like that, but he manages to do it.
For 3, Caldwell Pope. Good, and the assist goes to James. That's now 8 points for Kentavious Caldwell Pope. Warriors trail by 9. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Kicks to Curry. From deep. An absolute bomb from three-point range. 6 points for him.
You know what? The area code just doesn't matter with this guy. Steph just dropping bombs.
And a special thanks to Under Armour for the second look at the long-range three-pointer. Another Unleash Chaos moment. Beautiful. And Caldwell Pope gets the basket.
Oh, great ball movement there.
Warriors have gone 2 of 5 here, making 40% so far to start out the game. In competition, once again, Kobe, the thing that drives you so much, even on the practice floor, you and Jordan were so much alike in that regard. Is it important to go at your teammates and challenge them in those practices that you recall?
You have to challenge them, because if you don't, then they become conditioned to not have those challenges every day, right? So if you come off of a night, we have a back-to-back, for example, and we have a practice the next morning, it's our responsibility to step into that practice and challenge them as if it was the game that we just played the night before. Right, because if you do not, then you don't have that competitive spirit day in and day out, where then you feel like you can take games off, because you can take practices off because you just don't have it in practice. Right? So it's our job to bring that every single day so that competing just becomes a habit for them.
And you learn about their mental endurance, their physical endurance during those practices.
Well, yeah, you challenge them to learn about themselves. Right? You challenge them to think about themselves. Can I push a little extra? I'm going to have to, because he's driving me like crazy. And if I don't meet that challenge, I'm going to have to hear his mouth all practice long. I'm going to have to hear his mouth on the plane. I'm going to have to hear his mouth on the bus. I'm going to have to hear his mouth in the locker room.
Yeah.
And I'd rather just compete.
And after 20 years in the NBA, Kobe, you were able to play with so many teammates. Can you make a short list of some of your favorites over the years?
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Pau Gasol for me. Derek Fisher.
And a quality person.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just the nicest guy you'll ever meet.
Yeah, right.
You know? And Derek Fisher, Ronnie Turioff, who's one of my all-time favorites. Lamar Odom, Shaq, obviously, Robert Horry, Rick Fox. I mean, I've been very fortunate to play with some great teams. Horace Grant, AC Green. I mean, the list goes. Ron Harper. I mean, I can go on and on all day long. Brian Shaw. I mean, I was very fortunate to have some really good teammates.
Goes back up. And Davis gets it to go.
Just so resourceful as a player. Davis gets the job done inside in all sorts of ways, and that's one of them right there, crashing the offensive glass, getting that second chance bucket.
So last season, Kobe, one of the closest MVP races we've had in a long time, came down to Westbrook and Harden. Who did you think was going to win before the results came out, and why?
Yeah, I didn't even stop to think about that because they're both like little brothers to me. So even though I could sit there and say,
LA
okay,
kids too.
Yeah, I know them both extremely well, and they're both extremely deserving of it. So I refuse to split it.
Yeah,
you know, they're both my guys.
And different kinds of games, and both sensational individual players.
Yeah, they're just phenomenal. I mean, they can do so many things in the game, and now I think the next progression for them is to be able to dominate the game off the ball just as much as they can dominate on the ball, right? Because in the playoffs, the defense has a hard time finding it.
Curry against Schroeder. Curry kicks to Green, and he could not get that one to go. Out of contact, and he'll go to the line for two. And to have the ball in your hands at all times, always bringing it up. It's exhausting, though, right? That's what they say.
But
now, for you,
the defense sees you, right?
Yeah.
So if you're handling the ball, the defense has eyes on you at all times. You're here. You're right in front of the defense. When you don't have the ball, you're moving behind them. Curry moves behind.
All the time.
He'll bring it up, pass it, and now he's running off the screens behind the defense, right? And it's hard to find him.
Rip Hamilton the same way.
Rip Hamilton the same way.
I know.
Jordan, flare picks, down screens, slicing into the post, right? Coming up to the pinch post. All those operational things take place behind the view of the defense.
From deep, James, good on the triple. James has got his third basket of the night. Well, Kobe, you look at all the former Defensive Player of the Year, and they're almost always big men. You were a 9-time first-team all-defensive selection in the NBA. Do you think guards sometimes get overlooked at the impact they have in a game and a play?
Yeah, they definitely do.
All the time, huh?
I think the bigs have a huge responsibility in protecting the rim, and those things are very easy to measure.
Right, block shots,
blocks,
and exactly,
rebounding,
altering
shots or defensive rebounds. For guards, it's tougher. But still in all, there's some guards out there who have done it. You know, Michael and Gary Payton and Kawhi Leonard. I count him as a guard. They're just phenomenal defensive players.
Where does that mindset come from? That defensive mindset when you're an offensive gifted player like yourself?
Well, I think that's a truly competitive person. Some players will call themselves competitive, but you're not truly competitive if you only compete at one end of the field. That's not what true competitive people do.
His touch has been terrific this quarter. Most of what he puts up is going down.
On the wing, Davis. And so it looks like the Lakers will retain possession here. And look now at the various locations of the shots taken so far for Davis.
And the three-point game stands out as a major sore spot. It just has not been falling for him. I think at this point you start to get away from that shot. Try to engage in other parts of the offense. You don't want to hurt your team if that long ball isn't there. And on the glass so far, it hadn't even been close.
And the trend around the league, Kobe, is more offense, more three-pointers, certainly spacing, fluid offense. Scoring is up around the league in a measurable way from, it seems like, year to year. Do you like the way this is trending, or do you think the NBA should maybe put a governor on this, harness it in just a little bit?
Well, I think it'll swing back to the way,
Do you?
Yeah, because the game has gone through that progression before. It's constantly evolving. And so I think you'll see it swing back eventually. You'll have a couple teams that are just big and may have a dominant post player, and all of a sudden you're going inside, and then that team will win a championship, and then the rest of the teams in the league will try to copycat the way the game is played that way. Then things will swing back. So it's just natural evolution of the game, I think.
Thompson from long range drains the three-pointer. Thompson's got 5 points so far.
Man, the triples keep falling, guys. That's 3 in a row.
Kobe, you were a player who lived in the gym. What motivated you as you go back and look at all those hours you spent in the gym to do that, to follow that path?
I loved it. I loved the game. It wasn't a matter of working hard. I didn't realize I was working hard until like my second or third year in the league, when I realized here in the NBA, a lot of players don't do that.
Right.
It was kind of a big shock to me. Like, I assumed everybody in the NBA
just worked hard.
Yeah, but to me, it wasn't hard work. It was like, I love doing this. Like, there's no place on earth I'd rather be than be here in this gym with a basketball and a hoop.
But the greats are always the hardest workers, aren't they? I mean, right, have you ever seen a great player who is not the hardest worker on their team?
No, I've seen players have great seasons, and, you know, and then the next season, it's not so much,
right.
And then they have another great one, and the consistency isn't there. The truly great players love what they do, and that looks like hard work to the outside world.
Did you enjoy playing the game? There was so much you put into the game, but did you enjoy the game?
I did. I enjoyed the game. I loved playing, you know, the competition and all that, the getting ready and all that. But I enjoyed practice more.
Did you?
I did. I enjoyed training and practice more than I did the game.
And they've come out with a take-no-prisoners approach on the glass here tonight, guys.
And it's Drummond missing.
A highlight reel play all the way, just can't connect.
Well, a good attempt to try to finish that alley-oop still should have went for something better than that, though.
And Kobe, your spectacular high school career at Lower Merion High School in Philadelphia, and that Philadelphia area paved the way for your NBA career. Talk about some of the highlights of your days in high school.
Well, my days in high school they were fun. I mean, I played in a small high school called Lower Merion High School, so not too many people heard of it. You know, when you come to Philadelphia, the schools that you hear of are Overbrook, where Wilt Chamberlain went to school, Bartram, right, where Earl the Pearl Monroe went to school, right? But you never heard of little old Lower Merion High School, right? So it was a huge honor to be able to bring a state championship to Lower Merion and kind of put Lower Merion on the map, and that's the most exciting part about it.
Oh, a terrific story indeed. A huge honor, I'm sure. And the basket is good. Got it to go through on the contact, so a free throw coming up. A great opportunity for a three-point play. Lakers shooting their first free throw of the night here.
And they've had really good numbers all season from the free throw line.
And the Lakers with some changes. Matthews, he's checked in for James. And it's Ben McLemore in for Dennis Schroeder. Marquise Chris, he's checked in for the Warriors. Kelly Oubre comes in for Thompson. Bazemore on the wing. He's covered by Matthews. The shot, no good.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D, just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
There's 57 seconds left here in the opening quarter. Here's McLemore, and oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot two.
And quickly, let's look at the numbers for Andre Drummond. He's averaging 10 points a game, 10 rebounds, and 2 assists. What incredible numbers. He has been a beast.
Yeah, impossible to check right now. When he's on a roll like this, not much you can do to stop him.
Harrell, he's checked in for the Lakers.
The former Jayhawk McLemore, a gifted scorer who can really light it up in a hurry.
Chris with it, now guarded by Harrell. Chris pass to Curry. Golden State moving the ball around. Here's Bazemore. The jump shot from the baseline is right on target. Bazemore's got his second bucket of the night.
Oh, man, just an outstanding first quarter so far for him. He's doing a great job creating space and knocking down open looks.
Harrell kicks to McLemore. Oubre with the steal. And here we go. Fast break. Curry's got it. Rebound by Harrell. McLemore. That shot off the mark. And we'll be right back after this. And Steph Curry, a player with in the gym range.
I mean, we're 5-6 feet outside that three-point line.
I was going to say, Greg, how big must that hoop look to Steph Curry? And tough to guard might be the understatement of the day.
I mean, he is just an insanely great shooter. I mean, arguably, I don't think there's an argument. He's the best shooter in the world. The argument is whether or not he's the best shooter ever. And listen, I can imagine there's very few times that Coach Curry is not going to allow this Splash brother to let her rip.
And the second quarter getting underway. No team gaining an edge so far. And what stands out to you from the Lakers in this one?
Hustling on that offensive glass. That's led to a number of second chance points.
Well, obviously that was the game plan coming in. Be physical right off the rip.
So on the floor for Golden State to begin the second quarter. Chris is out there with Kent Bazemore. Then there's Nene. Then there's Stephen Curry. And it's Oubre in at the 2 spot. The Warriors leading. Hey, Kobe, after dedicating pretty much your entire life to the game of basketball, a game that I know you love, you said you don't miss it. Why is that?
Well, because I've been through that process. I mean, I started playing a game when I was like 2 years old. And, playing professionally for 20 years, and I left no stone unturned. So there's no regrets there. I've done everything I could possibly do. And truthfully, the game is still with me. The discipline has changed. The industry might have changed. But the same approach, the same things that I've learned from the game, I carry with me to this day. So the game is still inside of me.
And the shot goes in.
Great job right there, Kevin. Beating the defense to the spot. Love the strong, aggressive effort right there.
Curry with it. He's coming off a 40-point game against Dallas.
His rebounding stood out, too. He gave them a big lift on the boards.
And guys, right now, the defense mentally not there. Can't afford too many of those in a close game like this.
Yeah, Jay, you're right. Almost a free run for him there.
Well, yeah, and you have to give him credit, too. Makes the right read go straight to the rim.
That's good, and the Warrior lead is cut down to 2 on the bucket for McLemore. McLemore's got 4 points now in the quarter. Golden State's gotten both of their 3-point attempts to go down here in the second quarter. Kobe, and any chance you might coach or might be a consultant to an organization, for instance?
Nah.
No, not at all.
Listen, players reach out to me and they'll call me and I'll give them advice, and I like it better that way as opposed to being tied down with one particular franchise. And I like what I'm doing now, and any player from all over the world can reach out, and I'm there for them in terms of providing advice or counsel.
Well, the story got out last year in the playoffs that Isaiah Thomas and you had some conversations.
Yeah. Well, he reached out and had some questions about how to approach that particular series, and I just said, send me over the film. What are you looking at? And I'll tell you. I'll take a look at it and I'll tell you what I see, and then you can go from there.
And we're now a little over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Kuzma passes to McLemore, and he misses the go-ahead basket. The Warriors have gone 50% from the floor in the second quarter, 3 of 6. Well, Kobe, something that's such a huge tool in the NBA and the team's offense is the pick and roll, the screen roll game. You've done it as well as anybody. Just how are the nuances and the attention to detail important to make that play work?
Well, it's really important, but the screen roll today is run differently than it was, say, when Utah was running it with Stockton and Malone. What you're seeing now is more of a spread floor screen roll action where it makes rotations very difficult because you have to rotate off the shooters at a distance.
Right.
So now what you tend to see more teams try to down pick and roll coverages and sending guys to one side of the floor and try to play the screen roll coverage with 2 men and try to not have 3 guys in the action. You have to rotate and now push your team behind. Right, and that it's a dance of, can you play the screen roll with just 2 guys? And on offense, can I force you to have a 3rd guy come in and rotate? If I can do that offensively, then you're behind.
LA's gone to the three-pointer 11 times tonight and nailed 5 of them. And Kobe, how did you learn to watch tape? Because there are guys now watching tape and they'll just go, and you wonder if it's really even sinking in.
Trial and error.
Yeah, right. But really, that was it.
Trial and error. You start looking at things, you start saying, man, like if I'm watching an edit on the player, and I watch one particular game, and then I look at the next game, and he's doing the same thing. And the next night, he's doing the same thing. Hold on, let me go back and watch. And then you start looking for consistent behaviors or patterns in their behavior. And then you think, okay, maybe that's something that's a tendency for him. Let me go back and check. 2 dribbles, turn. 2 dribbles, turn. 2 dribbles, turn. 2 dribbles, turn. 2 dribbles. Oh, my God. Yeah,
there
that's
it is.
it.
There's the pattern.
Right, so what if I interrupt him between his first and second dribble and throw him off a rhythm. What'll happen then? Right? What if I know he's going to go 1-2, turn right shoulder? I let him go 1-2. Now I jump to his right shoulder. Now you can't turn there. What happens then? Right? You throw him off of their patterns.
Chris kicks to Curry. He feeds it to Oubre. Some nice passing by Golden State here to end the run. The Lakers with the rebound. Tough loss coming against Cleveland in their last game played.
And they had a ton of missed opportunities at the foul line. That's always a game changer.
It's almost like a field goal kicker missing after all the hard work is put in. It's just a frustrating way to go down.
Kobe, for a guy like yourself who made an incredible amount of three-point shots during your career, what is it like watching Steph Curry? Just how much has he changed the league? It was always watching the dunks of Jordan. Now you got kids that want to shoot the ball from distance.
Yeah. Shooting the ball from distance now has kind of become like a home run in baseball, right? Where it's exciting to watch the ball in flight. I think it's great because it just adds more love to the game, more things that players could do or kids can do that can't dunk. Right? It's like dunking was the thing, right? But now for kids that can't dunk, there's something else that's fun. There's something else that's entertaining, like shooting threes. Right? So
but boy, that takes a lot of work. Huh?
Yeah, it sure does. I mean, it's a lot of repetition.
Hundreds of shots daily.
Yeah, and it's a lot of repetition. I mean, Steph, you watch him out there playing and making all these shots. He's put in hours and hours and hours of hard work and continues to do so.
That one misses. With that three-point shooting on the rise, Kobe, if you were coming into the league right now, would you try to lean more in that direction than the incredible acrobat that you were when you were in your prime?
It depends who I was playing against. Mm-hmm. I try to build my game to be able to do all those things.
And you could. I mean, you're like one of the few guys that could do it.
Yeah, so it just depends on who I was matching up against, which determines then how I would try to punish the defense.
I like that word.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of a softer one. And I was like, no, punish is a good one.
You're honest. Well, it seems like with more threes and more skill-based play, the league is adapting more of a European style of play. You grew up in Italy, Kobe. You know about that style. You appreciated that style. How did that impact your personal development as a player?
Well, tremendously. I mean, if you look at the era in which I grew up in Italy, you look at the players that came out of it. So myself, Pau Gasol, Manu Ginobili. I mean, there's a lot of players that grew up in that same time frame that play the game fundamentally sound because I think all the coaches here in America are doing camps and clinics for coaches overseas.
Like Hubie Brown, right?
Exactly.
He always go overseas in the summer.
Exactly. And so we were products of that teaching. So all of our coaches growing up were implementing the fundamentals and the basics of the game taught by these amazing American coaches. And so we're kind of fortunate in terms of the time that we grew up.
LeBron kicks to Morris. Dishes it to Gasol. Gasol on the play. Bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
They're doing a really good job of getting the ball inside and attacking the paint. That's an area they have completely dominated.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight. And the Warriors making a change here. Thompson's checked in. And Kobe, while those coaches were imparting the fundamentals abroad, did that get lost in translation, you think, here in the States?
Well, I think they just took it for granted. I think players took it for granted. And you start seeing the teaching start slipping. It's like, if you have a parent that's constantly telling you to clean your room, after a while, you start tuning out.
Yes.
And I think a lot of that is what happened here in America, which is why you see some of our fundamental skills erode over time.
Are you saying that your girls, your 14-year, 11, they tune you out?
Oh, my God, yes. I can say something a million times, but if Beyonce says it one time,
it's law.
That's it. Like, dude, I've been saying the same thing for years. No one listens to me.
There's the feed to Gasol. Morris, a screen. Down low. And the whistle blows, so a chance here for a three-point play. Kobe, that fadeaway jump shot here is such a foundational part of your game. What's the key to that particular shot? And who's carrying the torch for that shot now?
Well, yeah, the fadeaway is there's different ways to shoot the fadeaway. There's a Kim Olajuwon way of shooting the fadeaway. There's a microwave shooting the fadeaway.
Oscar used to do it. I know you.
Oscar used to do it quite a bit. So I try to use bits and pieces from each, depending on the defender that I'm facing. But yeah, there's certain players that are carrying that shot now. LeBron shoots the fadeaway quite often, as does KD. He shoots it a lot. Clay will shoot it. Kawhi will shoot it quite a bit off the pull-up jumpers and things of that sort. So there are a lot of players doing it.
And again, no good by Golden State.
Well, they've been better than good on the glass today, and there is a glaring discrepancy between these two teams in that area. And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
In the corner, it's Oubre. Some say, Kobe, that the shooting guard crop in the NBA right now, a little light in terms of depth, not quite as many top two guards as we used to see play the game. Who do you like among some of the two guards you see now in the NBA?
Well, it depends who we're considering the two guard.
Right,
now,
because they just
ones,
blend,
twos,
don't they?
The threes, they all just blend.
Combo guards are playing some forward position. It's tough, isn't it?
Yeah. So, shooting guards to me are guards that have to do everything. You have to be able to play the post. You have to be able to play the perimeter. You have to be able to play the point. You have to do everything. So I'll put Russell Westbrook in that category. I'll put James Harden in that category. I'll put Kawhi Leonard in that category. There's a lot of players I'm forgetting. Even Giannis, I would say, is a two guard because of what he does.
Yes.
So there's a lot of talented guards out there.
Did you like the ball in your hand, bringing it up, or would you have rather someone else bring it up, then get it to you in the half court, and then do what you did?
Yeah, that's the one thing I'm jealous about Michael. Because Michael didn't have to do that. Yeah,
right. Yes,
so,
right. Who always brought it up.
Yeah,
yes,
so he could focus on coming off the screens and catching and shooting. He didn't have to think about facilitating first. He could think about scoring and then passing out of double teams.
Thompson against Caldwell Pope. Fades. That one's good. The Laker lead is cut down to just 6 points, and the bucket from Klay Thompson. Kobe, you've made no bones about patterning your game after Michael Jordan. You watched him while growing up. Can you give us a little insight into the impacts of what he meant to you and how he formed you in some ways?
Sure. Well, I think most players growing up, at least my generation, probably watched him play and saw all of the fancy plays, the dunks, the highlights, and things of that nature. What I focused on was how he got there. The moves, the timing, the fundamentals, the spacing, the rhythm. That's what I studied meticulously. And so when I watched him play, I think I watched him play a little differently than others. Having not gone to college and all these other things, growing up overseas, I had to learn the fundamentals by watching and observing the greats. And to the most minute detail.
And they hold a huge advantage on the backboard.
Warriors trail by 6. Pick by O'Quinn. Oubre dishes to Wiggins. There's the pick. Will not go. This is off the front iron. Well, I have to say it's been quite a fun night with you, Kobe, joining our broadcast tonight. Thank you for spending some time with us and our fans. I'm sure they've all enjoyed it.
No, thank you. I've enjoyed it as well, man. It's been an absolute pleasure.
And Greg, it's amazing to think back on Kobe's career, but to hear the perspective and context in a broadcast setting like this, it's an awful lot of fun, isn't it?
It really is. And the depth of knowledge from the kind of career Kobe has had, the ups and downs, and the wisdom gained through that experience really shows in him as a person, not just a basketball player. He's one of the truly special people who've given so much to the game of basketball.
The Lakers making a switch here. Davis is checked in. And here's Oubre. And looking at his production, he averages a little more than 7 points a game. And the Warriors miss again. Lakers leading by 9. Davis, the pass to LeBron. Davis setting the pick for James. Here's Gasol. Good, and the assist goes to James. 8 points for Marc Gasol.
And he knows how to make good use of his size in that low block. And Gasol's inside game is very refined. There's a smoothness to how he approaches it.
A shot by Thompson, and no one's around. Hits it from three-point range. Thompson's got a pair of triples in the second now for the Warriors. That'll do it for the first half. Lakers lead by 8. All right, Dave, thank you. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter soon.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, folks. Ernie Johnson here alongside Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. LeBron James had it going on in the first quarter. He ended up with 15 points, 4 rebounds, and 6 assists. And taking a look at the Lakers, Shaq, what'd you think?
The area where they impressed me the most has been on the boards. When the shot's gone up, everybody goes for it. Just a matter of maintaining that energy, playing with that same kind of aggression in the final 2 quarters.
And over to Kenny now. How'd you think the Warriors were playing?
Well, the perimeter D is just too loose. I mean, there's no excuse for letting the team rain that many threes on you. And at that higher percentage, guys aren't fighting through screens. They're not staying with their shooters. They're not helping out. Just bad basketball on the defensive end. They've got to tighten it up on a high level in the second half.
And that will conclude our halftime presentation. We take you back to Kevin Harlan for the second half.
The second half just about to get going here. What can you say? LeBron James, what an Well, Chris, the NBA game is a game of superstition. And even if you aren't superstitious, you still get into the habit of a routine. So what was your pregame routine that you had during your career? Something that was there every night with you before a game?
Well, about superstitions, Kev, I have one superstition, and it might sound weird, but it was to not have a superstition. So I'm a guy that can get caught up in routine and things like that. So if I played a great game and I had something to eat, I wouldn't eat the same thing on purpose because I didn't want the superstition to control me. I wanted if for some reason I couldn't have the food, if for some reason I got to the game late, I never wanted that to be in my head. And so my thing was, since early in high school, I tried not to have a superstition. But in saying that, you do have a routine. And my routine as I got older was, before I get to the arena, I'd read the notes of the game and all that good stuff, and I'd just sit in the hot tub with my headphones on. I figured that was the best way to get warm at an older age, and that's really the only thing I can remember relying on before a game, and that was in my older years.
Good story. Good story. Our second half of basketball, and presented by Gatorade. Let's see who's all fueled up and on the floor to start the third. Taking a look at the Lakers. They've got LeBron James. Dennis Schroeder is out there with Caldwell Pope. And there's Davis. And it's Gasol. And at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Break from his one-and-done season at Kentucky, leading college basketball in block shots. We knew Anthony Davis could dominate defensively, but did you have any idea he'd be this good offensively?
None. I mean, with his length and athleticism, you knew he'd have an impact as a finisher. But the way his shooting has developed, it has been remarkable. Now, granted, this was a guy that at one point was recruited to play point guard coming out of high school, but he's playing more like a shooting guard with his skill set.
And it's Wiggins missing. Lakers leading by 8. In the corner, it's James. And that one falls, coming off of Davis's feed. And that's 18 points for LeBron.
But it's nice to have an option like him every time down the court.
Picked by O'Quinn. Curry kicks to O'Quinn. And Gasol sends it back. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Gasol. Schroeder against Curry. Just 5 to shoot. From deep, Green.
He's got that huge wingspan, and boy, does he use it well on the defensive end. If Davis is within shouting distance of the shooter, there's a good chance he'll get a hand on it.
And here's the Lakers. 9 points in a row. Good run for him right now. Schroeder kicks to Davis. Over Wiggins. And Davis can't get it to go. Warriors trail by 11. Thompson outside. Back to Curry. Passes it to Thompson. Wing shot on the way. Rebound the Lakers. Gasol's got his 4th rebound in this one. Schroeder against Curry. Schroeder kicks to LeBron. Good for his 8th field goal. He's attempted a dozen shots.
You got to enjoy watching James go off. When he's hot, he can't be contained.
Timeout called the Warriors.
And I'm just not sure the league has ever seen a more intimidating slasher than LeBron James. A 6'8" bullet train. He's so strong, so quick, and if he gets a shoulder on you, watch out.
And the Lakers making a change here. Drummond's checked in. Picked by O'Quinn. Thompson from long range. Good, and Curry gets the assist. Curry's got his 4th assist in this one.
Well, he's doing his best to get them back into this game. He's been money from the field.
And LeBron always feels like he can get past his man. It's that next level of the D he focuses on.
And if I'm the help, I play him for the pass. I don't want to be in that poster. Maybe the most devastating finisher in league history. And physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. A +10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know.
There's Schroeder. The putback. Great positioning on the putback. And the Lakers lead by 12.
I'm sorry, that's poor defense down low again. It's been a mismatch thus far in the paint.
Curry kicks to Thompson. Over Caldwell Pope. That one rolling around and rims out.
Not a very consistent quarter for him in terms of a shooter.
And there's the pass to Drummond. Fires for 3. And Caldwell Pope good for 3. Caldwell Pope's got 16.
Love seeing the offense run through the big man. Drummond with great vision and terrific feet.
And Thompson kicks to Wiggins. An easy layup after coming off the pick.
And that's why it's so important to really be a good screening team. You get a lot of open looks from it.
Drummond with it. Working on O'Quinn. And it's Davis finishing it off.
And just tacks a few more points onto their lead with the tomahawk.
That's bringing it down hard. Green, the screen. On the wing, Wiggins. Covered by LeBron. Green with a screen on Schroeder. Here's Wiggins. And it's Golden State with another.
You know there's no way that's going to get blocked. He just has to rise up and drain it.
Davis sets a screen. James dishes to Davis. And the foul called on Anthony Davis. That's foul number 2 for him.
And that's turnover number 2 on the game, doing a nice job in terms of ball control.
And the Warriors with some changes. Nene, he's checked in for Kyle O'Quinn. Marquise Chris comes in for Green. And it's Kent Bazemore in for Wiggins. Bazemore with it. Harrell on him. Curry can't get it to go. Los Angeles leading by 13. McLemore inside the line. The offensive rebound. Here's Davis. Goes up again, and it's good on the layup. Davis has got 9 points now in just the second half.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Curry passes to Bazemore. To the middle. Looking for Chris. He gets it there. An emphatic alley-oop jam.
And hard to decide which was better, the pass, the catch, or the slam.
There's no wrong answer. Sensational alley-oop. And the replay presented by Under Armour. Unleash chaos, giving us the chance to enjoy that alley-oop all over again. And it's Davis missing.
That's a great job to converge on him inside and prevent that easy look.
Outside Curry. And Thompson kicks to Curry. There's a screen by Chris. Back to Curry. Takes a 3. That's in, coming off the assist from Thompson. Thompson's got assist number 7 for him tonight.
Can you say unconscious tonight? I mean, Steph has been focused from the giddy-up.
Davis. And he got the whistle, so he'll have a 3-point play opportunity.
He has them reeling. They haven't had an answer for him this quarter. Well, the Lakers are undergoing a dramatic change of leadership in the front office last season. I mean, I think many felt that a change was needed. We'll see if they can turn things around.
Wesley Matthews checked in for Harrell. And Golden State also making a change. Oubre's checked in. And the new front office taking over, not without some infighting, though, in the team's ownership. It made headlines.
Well, I think there have been dysfunction up at the top for a while. Hopefully, though, they'll be able to create some stability and a foundation to build on moving forward.
Now a timeout called by Golden State.
Yeah, he's got to make some adjustments here. Just too easy to score in the lane against them right now.
Well, I think the first thing they need to talk about are the rotations. There's a lot of miscommunication out there.
And Bazemore kicks to Nene. Some nice passing by Golden State here. In the corner, it's Oubre. Outside Curry. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for two. Wesley Matthews picks one up.
Using that signature pump fake, Steph causes the defender to overcommit.
He's getting his first free throw attempt of the night right now.
And, you know, something I remember from their last game was how good he was at the line.
Sometimes with the amount of weapons that this team has, players have the tendency to defer. But Curry is at his best when he's aggressive and aggressive early. Took some time to realize that last season, but it clicked. He is still the engine that powers the offense.
Kuzma passes to Matthews. There's the screen. He kicks to Davis. Shoots over Curry, and it's Davis missing. Warriors trail by 11. And with Curry and the team being better when he is aggressive, C-Web, he is such a great passer, but space just opens up for everyone when he is in attack mode.
Well, look, for a superstar, it's really tough to find your balance, when to take over, when to initiate, when to defer. And they're learning that. But given how hot Curry can get and how he can win a game early, you want him, even as a point guard, to look for his points early.
And you don't ever want to get into the habit of letting the offense get to the rim.
Well, the league has begun a program to crunch the numbers and learn how to reduce player injuries. It's just getting started. But, Chris, exciting to think that we'd be able to cut down on that part of the game.
Oh, yeah. You're talking to a guy that suffered injuries most of my career. I'm glad that we have more information now as far as, looking on the bench. You have player tracking cameras, nutrition. You have more research and flexibility and strength. And so now it can all be measured. And as long as the players-doctor relationship is kept in privacy, I think it'll make a big difference.
In the corner, it's McLemore. Davis sets a screen. Knocked loose. It's stolen by Curry. The three. Another three for Golden State.
What an exhibition he's putting on today. This is about as hot as you can get.
Kuzma passes to McLemore. Davis sets a screen. In for another field goal. A sublime 9 of 14 on the night.
If there's a list of the best inside scorers in the NBA, Davis has got to be right at the top. When he gets his hands on the ball down low, you might as well just count it.
Curry wide open, and another three for Golden State.
Yeah, that's too good a look to give them from behind the arc.
Kuzma passes to McLemore. Feeds to Drummond. Over Nene. And there's another one for the Lakers.
And not quite as aggressive from outside as they were in the first half. Sticking to the high percentage shots, playing smart with the lead.
Chris kicks it to Bazemore. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and two shots coming up. Wesley Matthews picks one up. Well, we talk so much about what it's like on the floor, Chris, but I wonder what it was like off the floor when you were on the bench watching the team play and what was going through your head and mind. What did you and your teammates talk about as you were on the bench taking a rest and watching the game go on?
It depends on which game. If you're in L.A. and
Take
you
a break.
see,
Take a break.
Eddie Murphy and Rihanna walk in, you're going to say, hey, look at Beyonce and Jay over there. Or, if you're watching a great play and you see a guy dunk on your teammate, you're not going to get too excited, but you're going to whisper to your teammate, man, did you see that? That's crazy. Or, you know, you're pumping up guys because they've been working so hard in practice, and it's a guy who's getting his first time to kind of get in and get a good run. So you're cheering him on. And so being on the bench, you know, it's a lot of fun. You have to stay focused and ready to re-enter the game. But part of that job on the bench is to keep the energy of the bench, and that's to keep guys encouraged, to be loose, to have fun. And so it's a lot of fun being on the bench. And more fun when you're winning than losing, but a lot of fun being on the bench encouraging guys.
A minute 50 left to play here in the third. Here's Gasol. And it's Looney with the rebound.
That's how you protect the rim. Stand your ground and make him alter his release.
And out of bounds as the Lakers gain possession. Now let's take a look at how the shots have been divided up between three-point shots and two-point shots for the Warriors.
And the three ball has been in the game plan, and it's been working for them. Having that distance shot in the arsenal, very effective way to spread out the defense.
Dennis Schroeder's checked in for Los Angeles. Pass to Gasol. Tries from the block, uses the glass to drop it in. Gasol's got 10.
Tremendous execution, getting the shot that they wanted.
Curry kicks it to Bazemore. .109 left in the third quarter, and good that time. Bazemore's got 4 points in the quarter.
And so far are going for more of an inside presence here in the second half, getting away from the three-point shot.
Davis dishes to Schroeder, lets it go from deep. The shot comes out.
And he didn't punish them for the weak coverage there, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
Here's Bazemore, tips it up. The putback controls the rebound and puts it back up and in. Now just a 5-point Laker lead.
Oh, what terrific hustle. He's got a nose for the rebound.
Greg, he's ferocious when the ball goes up. There's Schroeder. He's got 10. Gasol a screen. Nobody near Schroeder. The pick gave him all the room he needed, and he knocks down the J.
Solid pick to create that opening. The soft touch on the jumper.
Schroeder against Curry. From deep three-point range, Looney. The putback is no good. The points coming in bunches as we wrap up the third quarter. It's been a good one. Lakers on top, leading by 7. And coming up as soon as we return from break, the fourth quarter gets underway. Now let's listen in to head coach Steve Kerr.
Right now it's when we go, good shot.
Just 1 quarter left in regulation. Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Los Angeles leading by 7 on the court for Golden State here in the fourth. Green is out there with Looney. Then it's Andrew Wiggins. Then there's Kent Bazemore. And it's Curry in at the point. Here's Davis. Shoots over Bazemore. And it's Davis missing.
And being that close to the hoop, I thought he had enough room to finish that one.
Curry passes to Green. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. Green's got the first basket as we get going in the fourth for the Warriors. And Matthews kicks it over to Schroeder. And Matthews throws it down.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
But it's surprising, Kev, to see so little urgency on the defensive side, especially with them losing this game right now.
That shot wide open. Green's got 20.
Oh, he keeps getting more consistent on the catch and shoot. That one, very much in rhythm.
Schroeder kicks to LeBron. But they recover it.
They are really crashing the offensive glass, and it's paying off for them.
And guys, all about hard work from this point on. They've worked hard to create that high-quality shot and then able to knock it down.
Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, he's checked in for Los Angeles. Golden State also making some changes. Kyle O'Quinn is checked in for Kevon Looney. And it's Thompson in for Kent Bazemore. Curry kicks to Green. Picked by O'Quinn. There's a screen. Curry on the wing. And a wide open look here for Wiggins. Off target from three-point range.
But still, eventually you got to feel like he'll start knocking those down again.
LeBron kicks to Caldwell Pope. Schroeder against Curry. Pass to Davis. Shoots from 12. And he hits the jump shot. Davis has got 5 points now this quarter.
As dangerous as he is inside, Davis gives opponents nightmares when he's able to get to the mid-range. He's very reliable when he steps back and takes the jump shot.
Davis against Green. Poke loose. Green's outside. Los Angeles keeping it alive. Fresh 24. Count the basket. And now it's an 11-point Laker lead. Warriors have gone 2 of 3 from the field to get the fourth quarter started. Timeout called the Warriors.
You know, the Warriors, this team has one of the most potent offenses ever. Now, a big part of why that is so is because of their passing, their ball movement, their cutting. Everyone on this team can set someone up for an easy finish.
And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Hey, guys. Well, Steve Kerr talked to his team during the last timeout. He's not satisfied with their effort level. He said, we're not hustling out there, guys. We are not going to win that way. I promise you. We've got to get after it. We'll see how his team responds.
All right, thank you, David. Davis dishes to Gasol. Davis sets a screen. Again, James missing.
I'm sure the D has no issue whatsoever with him taking those threes, but he isn't hitting anything from out there.
Curry passes to Wiggins. Golden State moving the ball around. Green with a screen on Davis. Just 5 on the clock. And it's Wiggins with the jam.
And a sturdy screen set for him that time. And he doesn't fool around, just straight to the rim for the finish.
No way for his man to get around that one. That's for sure.
You're right. They are precise in how they ran that play. Exceptional timing. That's all good stuff.
And he's on his way to putting up a big three-point total.
Green with the ball. Picked up by Davis. Thompson for 3. Again, the miss by Thompson.
And you know what? You can't get a better screen. Frees him up beautifully, but he just fails to capitalize.
The best laid plans, right? Well, I tell you right there, though, that's one they'll take every single time.
And when you're scouting a player like LeBron James, Chris, how do you defend it? What's the plan?
Wow, you got to stay in front of him. Try to force him to take bad shots. Tell the trainer to get the ice bath ready. Make sure you got some extra tape. And all this is easier said than done. And for the Lakers, new leadership in the front office starting midway through last season. For a franchise that had lost some of his luster, the hope is they can return to their winning ways.
A three-pointer, Wiggins. Again, Wiggins missing. Lakers leading by 12. Davis kicks to Gasol. And that one falls coming off of Davis's feed. Davis has got 3 assists tonight.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Chris, we're not accustomed to seeing top free agents spurn the Lakers, but that's what's been happening the last few years.
Yeah, I mean, it's different reasons. I mean, it's drafting. Some players want to go other places. The fact that the looming shadow of Kobe Bryant there. But we'll see if they can turn things around.
Wiggins with it. He's picked up by LeBron. Curry against Gasol to stop the run. And good. He got the English that time as it falls. And it's now 23 points for Klay Thompson. Now the dish to Davis. And finished off by Davis.
Yeah, liking the vision there from Caldwell Pope, looking to get his guys going when they're open.
Warriors trail by 14. Curry kicks to Wiggins. He dishes it to Thompson. Stolen by Caldwell Pope. James outside. Takes a big high bounce and goes in. James has got 13 points here in the second half alone. Green, the screen. Thompson dishes to Curry. James against Wiggins. Kicks it to Green. Shoots over Schroeder, and there's Green on the assist by Wiggins. Green's got 7 points here in this quarter.
We know about the playmaking ability of Draymond. But he's showing that he's just a prolific scorer.
LeBron against Green. Loads it up for Davis. Trying to go for an alley-oop, but excellent defense and anticipation there to stop it. And Thompson kicks to Curry. Got that bucket in no time at all. Curry's got 31 points.
He has definitely shown up to play. He's done his part, really just trying to battle his team back into it.
Schroeder kicks to James. Here's Davis. Goes back up. And the foul on Kyle O'Quinn. And that'll be his third foul so far. Full 24-second shot clock. Now Schroeder. He feeds it to James. Davis sets a screen. And again, it's the Lakers from deep.
Wow, what a sensational quarter from him. And as long as they have this lead, I'd keep going to him again and again and again and again.
Thompson from long range. Rebound the Lakers. Davis has got his 16th rebound on the night. Dishes to Schroeder. Davis sets a screen. Davis setting the pick for Schroeder. Just 5 on the clock. Caldwell Pope for 3. Good, and the assist goes to LeBron. And that's 19 points for Kentavious Caldwell Pope. Warriors trail by 18. The screen from Thompson. It's Curry outside. Anthony Davis grabs the miss. Davis has got rebound number 17, if you can believe that. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. It's going to be on Andrew Wiggins. Well, some big men in the league who are just superb at swatting away balls. Guys that you think right now are the best rim protectors, Chris, in the league.
Well, I think there's 3, and it's a no-brainer with these 3. I think one of the most intimidating, or the most intimidating, you have to go to DeAndre Jordan. He is the most athletic big man I've ever seen in my time in playing basketball. And with his length and his size, he can get up and block a shot quick. He can even get out there and guard some guards. We've seen him move laterally. Hassan Whiteside, this big fella has really improved his game, has really focused, gotten better in the offseason, and it's not something crazy to see him have a 10-block game. So I love seeing him. And then Rudy Gobert, we've seen him come on and become that inside dominant force for the Utah Jazz. So those 3 to me, really don't have one that stands out, but those 3 to me are the best on the defensive end when we're talking about big men defenders.
And the Warriors dominant last season again, not only because, Greg, of their offense, but because of their defense. One of the best in the NBA, and they're just so active on that end of the floor.
No doubt about it. And you know what? Credit their personnel, because it allows them so much more flexibility defensively. And even when they go small, they have excellent rim protection. They're a physical bunch. I just don't think they get enough credit for their rebounding. One of the better teams in our league.
Lakers leading by 20. Schroeder kicks to Drummond. The feed to Davis. Green against James. Shoots the 3. Traps in the tray. James has got 34.
He continues to be their go-to guy. If they close this game out, his stamp will be all over this room.
Curry passes to Wiggins. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
And still varying opinions out there of what Andrew Wiggins can and can't do. But one thing that's indisputable, he's an incredible scorer. Whether it's half-court transition, he can flat out fill it up in a hurry.
No good on the free throw. And Wiggins, his young career just getting better and better at scoring, Greg, while increasing his workload.
Yeah, and very few scorers can do that, especially from that two-guard spot. Wiggins has that special talent where he can flat out carry an offense. Scary to think that this is a kid who is just scratching the surface.
Caldwell Pope dishes to James. LeBron is doubled. 5 on the clock. Here's Schroeder. No good on the three. The Warriors have got a pretty good rhythm going offensively, shooting 8 of 15 for the quarter. Outside Curry. Wiggins kicks to O'Quinn. There's a good screen. Green with the ball. He's picked up by Drummond. Green, no luck. Los Angeles leading by 22 to the inside. Drummond in the post, working on O'Quinn, and that one's good. Drummond.
Sometimes all you have to do is dump the ball down to Drummond and get out of the way. He'll take care of the rest, utilizing his massive frame so well.